Hey everybody, it's your boy Little Mike, and we're here today to discuss our upcoming film with Little Mike Entertainment. It's going to be entitled The Hunting Club. And if you watched our last video about this movie, you would have seen myself and my partner on this, award-winning director Junior L. Ashwood with ID4 Nation Films, as we discussed some of the plot of the movie, some of the characters and things like that, and what's going on. Now, I've had a lot of questions from people regarding, hey, what are the roles that are out there? How is this going to work? What about auditions? What are we reading? Things like that. So let's answer your questions. One, I'm about to read off a character list, which is going to have each scripted character with a description of what they bring to the table and what kind of person they are. Now, as far as at the audition, everybody will be doing a cold read. For those of you who don't know, a cold read means we give you the description of the character, and then you're going to get a page or two from the script at the audition. And we're going to see how you bring that character to life, because we want you to bring your A game and see what you have to offer. Okay, so let's get started. In the roles that we need to cast, we're going to start with Karen, who is the main character's ex-wife, Caucasian, mid to late 30s, dirty blonde or brown hair. She is a central figure with a parental dynamic. She is the antagonist of the main character, and she's kind of not really on good terms with him. Okay. Personality traits: she is strong-willed, she's protective of her daughter, and torn between her marriage and her sense of wanting to do something different with her life and go in a different direction. She is the main character's spouse slash former spouse, and they have a little girl together, and her name is going to be Melissa. Her mother, Sue, will be somebody she's in contact with and in some scenes with, and as well as with the main character, scenes with the daughter, and with some other relatives and things like that. So Melissa is already cast. Sue is Karen's mom, Caucasian female, somewhere in the 60s, and she's the grandparent, and she's the main character's mother-in-law. She's really supportive of her daughter. Even if she doesn't really agree with her daughter's decision, she supports her nonetheless and tries to do her best to just fill whatever support that Karen needs. Then we go to Bill's mom. Bill is the main character. Bill's mom, also Caucasian female, mid to late 60s, and her role, she's a loving grandparent, and she's a loving mother, and she kind of holds down for the family on a big scale. When the main character starts slipping and he becomes distraught and lets himself go, she's the one that snaps him back into reality and makes him clean himself up and get his stuff together, and just pull his life together and try to make the best of the situation that's going on. Bill's sister is also going to be a Caucasian female, mid to late 30s, maybe even 40-ish. She is basically a support role. Her and the mother, they're there to support the main character, and she's a lovable person. She just genuinely cares about her brother. So then we're going to have Detective Davis. Detective Davis can be male, 30s to 50s, race is non-specific. He's the investigative authority and trying to figure out what happens and gets to the bottom of things. He interacts with Bill, with Karen, with the lawyers, with the public defender, with the other police, forensics team, and a group of teenagers. Next you have Natasha. She's going to be the new love interest for Bill, and need a petite woman, and race is non-specific, and somewhere early to mid 30s. And the role will she's gonna have a lore and maybe a little complexity to her, and she could be confidant, and personality traits is confident, perceptive, and maybe she has her guard up a little bit. And she's going to serve as a catalyst for some subplots and tension building. And yeah, she's going to be a big role in this. For the dads in the hunting club, so you have Steve, he's a male in his 30s. He's one of the dads, and he's an ally in parenting dynamics. He's grounded, practical, and protective at the same time, and he's kind of like a sounding board for some of the other dads in the film. The next dad is Mike. He's late 20s to 30s, and he is likely a close insider in the circle. And personality traits, he's easygoing, but can get intense depending on the context. He could be kind of a mediator and a sounding board also, and he just adds some solidarity. Chris is going to be another male in his late 20s and 30s, and Chris is another father figure and a voice in the paternal network. He's responsible, perhaps anxious about outcomes affecting what's going on with all the guys. Joe is senior dad, and he's kind of the older guy, potentially stabilizing presence or disciplinarian. And Joe's character is older than the rest by a noticeable gap. Then you have David. He's another male, mid to late 20s, 30s. Kind of maybe 30 max. Younger dad, brings fresh perspective and impulsiveness. He's energetic and could be impulsive in the heat of the moment decisions. Then you have John as another male, mid to late 20s and 30s, and he's another dad, and he's a potential wild card. So his personality traits are he's flexible, adaptive, may clash with some of the viewpoints of others, and he has some contrast and depth to the whole group of dads. Next, we have Phil, another male, mid to late 20s or 30s. Could be a pragmatic, could be pragmatic or skeptic. Is analytical, cautious, maybe a little wry, and he completes the group's spectrum of parenting approaches. Now, all these dad roles are non-race specific. Okay, those are open for anybody that can come and kill the part. Some other roles, and we're hoping to get some sailors involved in this. So if you know some local sailors, we have some scenes that we're going to be shooting on a ship, and we're going to need one to act as duty armorer. It's non-gender specific, preferably of the junior enlisted ranks, and he's in one of the opening scenes and just kind of in there getting the movie started. Then we're going to have some other sailors that are going to give shout outs. So we're going to have a lot of parts for sailors to be extras. If you are a sailor and you're interested, please email lmechris1893@gmail.com and send over a headshot, and we'll be taking a lot of sailors on as extras. Now, these are unpaid extra spots, but you will receive IMDb credit, and you get to be in the film. Next, we have a lawyer. This is Karen's divorce lawyer, non-gender specific, kind of a grimy look, anywhere mid to late 30s to 50s. She's obviously legal advisor and source of procedural details, and kind of helps Karen create some issues in there. Don't want to give away too much. So Sarah is going to be Bill and Karen's next door neighbor, mid 30s to late 50s, any race. She's just a supportive neighbor who thinks she's doing the right thing, and then finds out that she was duped, and what she did to quote unquote help is actually kind of screwing Bill over. Next, we're going to need two big, strong guys somewhere in their 20s or 30s as movers, and there will be a couple lines with that. Next, we're going to have a scene in a phone store. We're going to need a service provider inside the store, somebody that's doing customer service. Then we're going to have a car service driver. Well, for legal purposes, we can't throw out actual names of car services, but we're going to need a driver for a car service. And there'll be a couple lines in there. Next is Tom. That is Karen's dad. He's in his 60s, maybe 70 at the most, Caucasian male. And he's also backing his daughter's play, but at the same time is giving Bill his due respect because he's always believed that Bill was a good guy. Then we're going to need 2 news anchors. These are non-specific, anywhere 20s to late 40s, and those will be scenes where you're reporting from a news desk. So we're going to need 2 anchors. Then we're also going to need on-scene reporting teams made up of 3 teams, 1 reporter, and 1 camera person. Then we have Erin, who's the public defender, female, anywhere from early 30s to mid 50s, very well spoken, professional. She is the legal counterpoint to Karen's lawyer. Actually, scratch that. She is Bill's public defender. And while she doesn't have to go to court with Bill, she does have a key role in the film and the outcome. Then we're going to need Slim. So Slim is going to be a male prisoner, non-race specific, looks like he's done some real time, and he's kind of the prison radius character, and he's the link to anything you need in the jail. So if you need something, Slim can make it happen. Then we got 4 inmates. So these 4 inmates, there'll be one that is kind of he runs the prison. So you're not doing anything without his go-ahead. And then you have 3 other supporting prisoners that just kind of have his back like they roll together anywhere they go inside the prison. We will have some roles for extras for a prison yard scene. So that'll be open. We're going to need 1 morgue employee. That will be non-gender specific, non-age specific. The role is just, hey, you work in a morgue. So it's pretty morbid. Then you have Tommy T. Tommy T is an even bigger villain in this than Karen. And Tommy T will have to do a scene where he is killed and brutally killed in a prison yard. Standbys and extras, we need prison extras, officer extras. We're going to need some cops on scene. We have a group of teenagers that we need that are going to be hiking through the woods, and they come across something very disturbing. So be able to scream if you're going to do that part. And let's see, we need we will have some other forms of opportunities for extras to participate. And those folks will have a couple bar scenes. We'll have some outside the courtroom scenes where we have people lining up and protesting. And we also have a lot of sailors. We're going to need a lot of sailors, probably anywhere from 30 to 50 sailors. Like I said, go ahead and email the previously mentioned email if you're interested in being extra. And once we have dates and times and filming locations sent, we'll make another video. We'll send out the information. And if you have already contacted lmechris1893@gmail.com, we'll put you on a mass email list of where and when we need those extras. Now, for auditions, they're going to be held at 1225 West Beaver Street in Jacksonville on September the 13th from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. So go over the character list, take that description, see what you can work out in your head. When you get on set, we'll give you a part of the script. You read that and bring it to life. And hope to see you all there. Please share this video, get it out to as many people as you want. The more people we have come, then I think the better the film will be. We want the best of the best, and we want everybody to bring their A game. But more importantly, we want to get the people in the Jacksonville area involved and give the whole world something to look at when it comes to what the Jacksonville area can offer. So hope to see you soon.